so check it out. Y'all make sure y'all holler. Tell me your information.
You can follow me on at DeontayTiff.
Alright, so check this out right here. We got these a pair. What are these anyway?
Those are Jordan 4 alternate.
Okay, so
alternate Jordan 4s.
So these I bought these over here to
simple cleaning and a little bit of the yellowing.
Okay.
Basically what the yellowing means is like the sole right here, how it's yellow. Normally you just clean it, it's still gonna be yellow, but if you put like a solution on it, it'll change it back to a white, a pure white. And then all these creases, you probably won't be able to get the creases out just because of once you wear them again, it'll be back in there again. But it's just a fine leather, so you just kind of wash it and keep it like it is. Bottoms, it'll be the same deal, just the icing, make sure they come back to life. And then for the most part, this is just use acetone to get this off, like any of the scratches. You just use this right here, a little acetone, nothing too crazy, and a cotton ball. But first you gotta take the laces out, and then after that I take the insoles out too, just all the lint and stuff on there. And then you can sit in front of a fan or something like that just to dry them. But for the most part, this is not a hard shoe to do to clean wise. Like something like
now with those though, with these I want to show you before. I wanted these black and gold.
Yep. So
would you still kind of get scratches out, or you just go straight with paint?
No. So with that process, it's another thing too. Customs is another thing. Paint or restoration is a lot easier than painting. Painting consists of like the same deal, the acetone and cotton rounds, but you have to do that. Plus you have to sand it down. And then once you sand it down the first time, you got to go back with the cotton round and acetone again. And then once you finally get that part done, then becomes the taping part, which means you got to tape up the whole sole, so anything that you don't want to get paint on, which is like the soles, because you don't really paint soles because it doesn't last very long. Now this, I will be able to paint over it just because all fours tend to crack regardless on what type of paint you use. Now uppers, you can paint the whole upper. You will see cracks eventually over time because I mean it's a fine leather, so it's not going to be stiff. So as you wear them, it'll start to crack, but it won't peel. It'll just crack. So the difference between peel and crack, you know the difference between that. But yeah, for the most part, he said black and gold. Black and gold is what he'll get.
So show me what areas will be black and what areas will be gold. How would you do it?
Probably gonna just keep it simple. We're probably just gonna go. I might just do these parts in gold.
Yeah.
And then just keep the whole top black.
So my question is, how would you paint this right here?
So probably just honestly same deal, acetone, cotton round, and then what I'll do is just tape around this area. And I might make this part gold just to have 2 sets of gold on it.
Okay.
But this is just gonna be a regular paint. You just paint it like I'm gonna airbrush it.
So up under it's still gonna be white?
No.
Okay, I'm finna say that. I'm finna be so hard.
Only problem you can't do, you can take this out, but I don't really do that much of. I don't do that type of restoration.
Okay.
Or customizing. I do more just like the paint part of it, because you can take all this out and put it back in, but what I'm gonna do is just paint this whole part, so it'll be just one whole part. It'll be
cool.
Gold, or we'll see. And then this will be the same deal. Probably just do all of these gold because I don't want to just have just these 2 gold and not have the front.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, but honestly, it'll probably just be that, and then the whole other shoe will be black.
So y'all seen the before?
And most likely I can dye this too, the inside of them. But yeah. Normally, and then you want to talk about the prices too?
Yeah. What would be the price of something like that?
So like, if I was to do somebody like shoes that they already wore and like to clean it and the actual do the customizing. Normally, if you buy a shoe and you send me like a brand new pair of shoes from the store, the price could be a little bit cheaper just because of it's a brand new shoe and I ain't really got to do the cleaning part of it. Now with customizing, since so much prep work that is just involved with it to make sure that it's durable and it lasts, I have to charge a premium. Normally I charge around $120 to $150 depending on how much work is involved, and then the shipping too, so include the shipping. That's not including shipping. Shipping could be like 30 to 40 bucks depending on where it's going. A lot of times I include the shipping with the price, but in certain cases where it's the whole shoe I'm painting, that's where the price could be vary, as far as overall cost.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they can actually ship you out the shoe?
Yeah, any shoe, or they can buy a shoe online and just ship it directly to me, so they can kind of deflect the price of shipping back.
That's smart.
Because you can buy it on Nike and send it direct to my address, and I can do it that way, which is cheaper that way in my opinion.
That's smart.
So then you got,
what else we got?
You got to do this one, don't you?
Yeah.
So like something like this, I won't be able to like repair this part because this is like a piece of plastic that they had, and they get somebody warm and they just pop this off. This is still on there. It's just I can't repair this part because the DCI is broken off on that one, and then this one is still on there. But now sole wise, what I'll probably do with this is it's an air bubble. A lot of times if this part is broken or popped, you can't do much about it. What I'll probably do with these is just take the whole sole off completely, and then acetone it again. Same deal, acetone. Get all this extra glue that they had on there from the factory, and just glue this part back on there like so. This process now, re-gluing is another thing too. It's a little bit harder to do re-glues than it is to do like a customizing, because you gotta basically try to make it to where it's like closest factory as you can.
Gotcha.
Which this is the glue. This is the glue I use, but you can use this glue but still do it wrong if you don't prep it right.
So you gotta prep it right.
Yeah, because you can use that glue and think you have it right, but what'll happen is a lot of times people try to glue right over the old glue, and it'll have a good bond.
So on these right here, is it possible to even? I was gonna see like right here. And right here, is it possible to?
Yeah, I can paint that over.
Gotcha. What would you do? Just cut this little piece off.
Cut it off and then just paint it over as best I can.
I gotcha.
And this is just probably be like same thing as the red pair that I just showed y'all.
Yeah.
It'll be like a cleaning, and then I'll take the whole part off.
See with those right there, I want on these pair. I want you can have those.
Okay.
Because I might
display these. I'm not gonna lie. Because for me to actually do the work and restore them and do all that, it would just be like it'll be another thing.
Gotcha.
I'll definitely I've been wanting these for a long time from him.
He showed me. I even asked me about those. I wore them one time, and that's when I wore them one time, and that's when that happened.
Yep. I mean, yeah, it's an old shoe. This is I'm pretty sure it's like one of his first 9s that came out, if I'm not mistaken. And these are like back in the day. These were like money. And then you got something like this. Like normally, I tell people not to restore stuff like this. Like if this is your favorite shoe, then of course go ahead. But it's not like a retro number. Yeah. Like this is normally supposed to be like I think it's between a 7 and something else. But if this is your favorite shoe and you want to get it restored, you can get it restored. I can do it. I mean, I tell them you can go get another pair for the same price I'm gonna charge you to do the actual cleaning. And then another thing too, like nubuck is one of those things people like tend to wear out in rain and stuff like that. Now this is where this happens at. When we're out in rain, all conditions, suede and nubuck don't last very long when it comes to rain. Now you can bring it back to life in a sense. So you want to if that makes sense. Like I use this right here. This is mink stuff right here, mink oil, genuine. So basically, what this does is like if I got a suede shoe that's all suede, like really high end suede, then you use this, but you can do that wrong too. So like you can have that, but you can do it wrong. So once you spray that on there, you have to take one of these little brushes right here, and it's basically like a suede brush, but you don't want to go back and forth. You do more of like a down motion, so you kind of get that back to factory. Then you come back with one of these brushes right here, which is just a like a really fine brush, and then you brush it the same direction. And what that does is basically it re-naps the suede. So if you grab me that shoe that's very Travis Scott up there, I'm not sure.
He finna show y'all right here.
So what I mean by like a high-end suede,
that's high-end suede, yeah.
You can see like it's basically you can rub your finger across of it and you can see the details on it. So that's what I mean by like high-end suede. And this is what I'm saying, like as far as you get stuff like this and you wear it out in the rain one time, it's gonna be damaged. And it's never gonna be the same color again once you clean it with any like water or anything. So when you do suede too, another tip, when you do suede, you have to clean the whole entire shoe. It's meaning like you can't just clean the toe box and then not clean the sides that have anything that has suede on it has to be cleaned completely for it to dry evenly and have the same color once you finish with it.
So what's the backstory behind how you end up coming up on these right here? Like what was the process?
Past relationship, her dad actually entered it for me. We all entered for it.
So you say enter, what do that mean? Like people don't know.
Sneakers, the Sneakers app, which is Nike's main app for like any high-end releases or anything that's worth like buying in a sense. Well, I had to everybody entered the raffle for me, but this was the one size that hit. So this size is a 12.5, which is like even a rare size. You can't find 12.5. 12.5 is normally like a unicorn size. So with this pair in particular, once I hit on this pair, it's kind of like my holy grail in my collection. Now I have had the high version of these too, like the original. Those pairs would go for a lot of money too, but I sold those a long time ago.
So what's the value of these? How much did you pay? And then
I paid $180. And then now like used, and this is like pretty much brand new condition. I only wore these like twice or 3 times or something like that. But These go for like, I probably can get 12, 13. And that's low end of things. If I really get
13
somebody,
what?
100.
Ooh.
That's the low end of things. If you really like have somebody that really wants them, they'll pay a little bit extra just because of how clean they are.
They'll clean.
And some people just wear these normally. I don't really wear these because it's one of those periods I kind of keep in my bank, I would say. But yeah, that's basically with that. But customizing and restoration, two different things. Customizing a lot more a longer process, but when you do custom or restorations.
So you got a tool over here. What would you use this piece right here? What would you use that for?
Oh, this right here. This is a it's basically just, I use it for the sandpaper part because it basically what it does is shape. And when I prep the shoes, it's a lot easier me doing this rather than using my hand to prep the surface. So by this being a sander, in a sense, I just use this to sand down to get that fine leather so I can paint on top of it. Because a lot of times when you get shoes from factory, they put a factory coating on them, like you see how they're shiny. Once you get the acetone and the sandpaper, it'll get down to that fine, real like grainy material, which is what you want to paint the hair to. I
would not have known. I would have just painted on top of it. I wouldn't even.
They got a lot of cool stuff you can buy now as far as products that they can help you paint shoes, like to kind of get the paint to last longer in a sense. So I got like LK. I'm not sponsored by them, but I would like to be.
LK, shoot that sponsorship.
This basically right here is like a primer. So basically once you finish doing all the stuff I told you before, like as far as the sanding, the acetone part of that, this is what you spray down before you like actually paint the shoe. And basically what it's supposed to do is basically a lot of paint to adhere to the shoe better. And that's basically what that is. And they also sell like the finishers too. Like when you get done painting the shoe and you want it back to factory, you want to make sure scratches don't happen or anything. They have a whole bunch of stuff like that.
You got a lot of LK product.
And I have Angelus, and this is my main thing too. Angelus paint. This the brand that
Angelus, we looking for sponsorship.
Yeah, that I use for painting the shoe, actually painting the shoe. They have different brands you can use to paint shoes too, but this is the main one that I use.
So what is this box? What do you use this box for?
Which one?
This box.
This
right
one?
here. Yeah. So
this is basically like a paint booth, like an airbrush booth. So you use this for like if you don't want to get paint on a lot of stuff around the room, like because paint pretty much is like if you airbrush, you know, like the fumes and stuff can get, you know, the paint splatter and everything. You might not be able to see it, but this is basically what this is for.
So what's that tool right there? The green.
This is the same thing as this right here.
It's a small version.
This is the same thing. This is like you have like a fine part of the shoe you got to get into like a crack or crevice. And this is basically what this one's for. This one can only do like big pieces, but this right here you can kind of get in the fine areas. And
so I fix computers and stuff. I take computers, fix screens on stuff. So I'm assuming this right here so you can take the sole off. The heat gun?
I mean, part of it too, but that's also, I just use that for drying purposes too.
Okay.
Like when I'm painting shoes, like I need to paint it and then let it and dry fast, then I use that.
So what do you use to pull a sole off?
Acetone and a mixture between acetone and just really pull it. I mean, if it's an old shoe and the sole's coming off, like something like this, where all that glue is already starting to come off, I can really hit it with, see like how easy it is. Sometimes you just pull them off, and sometimes you can just get a little acetone in the bottle, like this one right here. I put acetone in these right here, and I just go along the whole shoe and kind of just pull as I go, and it comes right off. Because most of the time the glue's so old that's why I tell people, when you have shoes, you always gotta wear them, even if you don't want to, because eventually the sole will come off.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's why the glue, when you go outside and it's hot outside,
yeah,
you tell people to wear your shoes when it's hot or anything, because what happens is it kind of reheats the glue and it kind of sticks it back. And when you press on it, all the force basically just bring it back to, back to wearing condition. Now if you leave it,
what you're saying?
If you leave it different conditions, like you have it cold in the house one day, hot in the house one day, and the shoe just sitting inside the box or anything, and you ain't wore them out in a minute, then you risk the something like this happening. Now, Jordan 1s up there, the ones I got up there, the one I just showed you, either one of those, don't matter. Just grab one of those.
I'm being so sensitive with them. Y'all say I'm touching them.
These I would say
look at that shine on that boy.
These are one of those like Jordan 1s are one of the few Jordans that don't what's it called? They're one of the Jordans that don't separate, because they pretty much sew them to the shoe itself.
Oh.
And so it's rubber. So rubber normally doesn't have any type of like what's it called? It doesn't wear as much as like a Jordan 4, which is like a different material. But this all leather and rubber combination just lasts forever without having any major problems. Except this pair from 2016, even the Royals and the Breads that came out like a year apart. have the glitter. That's how you know they're real in a sense, because a lot of pairs still have glitter on them. It's just the type of leather they use on them. But
gotcha. So I like these. What's the story behind these, and what are they?
Paisley Dunks. Basically what these is, what you can do is, well, I'm not doing it, but you can cut away this material right here, and there's another pattern underneath the shoe you can expose once you cut this off.
Hold up, there's another pattern up under this?
Yeah, under this. That's why I like SBs. They always have like a different type of design and whatnot that you can do, like hidden features to them. Like these, you take all of this, anything with the paisley pattern on it, and you take it off, it'll be a solid, I think it's a solid under, I think it's like a pink or something like that, but yeah.
They don't tell you what it is though, do you?
They have, no, people do it before. Like they show, I just don't do it because, I mean, I like my shoes how they are. Especially these ones, they just look nice.
So that's some information I ain't know right there. If it was to pull, he said,
pull this material back, there's another color underneath. And these ones I like just because they don't really, you really can beat, you can beat them up. But it's a skate shoe. I mean, so it's got to be kind of durable in a sense. So
what's the value on something like this right now?
I think I don't know. I think worn probably like $180, $200. Nothing crazy, but I just like this shoe just because of the colors and like, I don't know, it's just unique to me. I won't be skating in these. I just use them for daily wear.
You won't be doing what then?
Skating.
What you mean skating? Oh, so this one you'll skate with. Oh.
That's why when this material, all SBs are like, they skate them so all this material explodes eventually. Like when you skate on grip tape, yeah, do a trick and then this comes. It's supposed to expose any material underneath pretty much.
That's why.
That's why. That's how it goes. Yeah.
So that's the goal that we're going with, y'all.
It's got like a flake in it.
That's the goal we're going with on that. So I was finna switch up, and you're like, you can just pull off what I had said originally as far as the black and gold.
Question is, what gold? What do you want gold? Because we want to keep the red.
I'm saying if we don't. So the thing is, it's either we're gonna use gold or it's either gold or the red. So we gotta.
I would say red.
Okay.
Just because it's gonna be something you can wear with everything.
Gotcha.
If you want to put it that way, so there's not too much going on.
So we're doing black and red. So we're gonna do black and red on these instead, y'all.
Yeah,
black and red.
And that way we can keep that. We can keep because all this rubber, as I was trying to tell you, it's not good to paint on this.
Okay.
Just because when you lay that paint on it, I can seal it off, but it still could scratch.
Okay.
Just because I mean it is paint. And paint.
So we come back with the before. Happy we circle back around. So this the before right here. We're gonna go black and red. And I want to do black because I don't have a lot of black shoes. So I kind of like black and the white be getting dirty. His white don't get dirty. See, look, shoe screen.
Yeah,
look, his stuff. And how he walk too. So he walk a different kind of way.
Really don't. No, I don't.
Man, these shoes.
But those don't crease though. These don't crease because of the material. See how that's that canvas.
Yeah, but none of these are creased.
There's a lot of pairs of crease actually. Those gray ones at the very top.
Let's see. This will be my first time ever seeing a pair of his shoes crease. Now these might be creased. I'm gonna say why. The rest of the shoes, I ain't seen no dirt on the back. But he said these are creased.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But his collection is crazy. Hey, y'all want y'all kicks really kicking? You need to holler at my guy. You holler at my nephew. Nephew, let them know how they can actually follow. Tell them the name of the business first.
Deontay's Customs. You can follow me at Deontay Tibbs on Instagram and Facebook too.
Facebook.
If you have Facebook, it's a little easier to reach me. Just send me a message on there and then I get back to you.
Thank you. So he's standing on top of something. So I want y'all thinking he really that much taller than me. I don't want y'all thinking that. But get at him. Hey.